How long actually does it take to learn English? And I'm sure these questions cross your mind too, especially if you are thinking about starting your English learning journey but haven't started it. And maybe you are thinking, can I learn English in these 3 months? And will 6 months be enough, or will it take me years? And I had the same questions when I started learning English, and honestly I wanted a simple answer. I wanted someone to tell me, just give it this much time and you will become fluent in English. But later, I discovered something that completely changed the way I looked at learning English. And maybe this will change the way you look at it too. So stay with me until the end, because the real answer is probably not what you are expecting. And hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you are new here, so I am Anamika, and I'm also learning English, and I'm sharing my English journey with you. So today, let's talk about something that almost every English learner thinks about. How long does it take to learn English? And before I give you my answer, let me tell you little about my own experience. When I started learning English, I had a very simple dreams. I wanted to speak English confidently, and I wanted to make sentences without thinking too much. And most importantly, I wanted to speak without being afraid and being afraid of making mistakes. But in the beginning, it was not easy. I know some words and I couldn't understand some sentences, but when I tried to speak, my mind suddenly went blank. I know what I wanted to say in Hindi, but I couldn't find the right English words. And I started thinking, maybe my English is not good enough, and maybe I need to learn more vocabularies, and maybe I need to study grammar first. But slowly, I understood something very important. I was focusing too much on the destination, not enough on the journey. So, how long does it really takes? Honestly, there is no fixed answer. It depends on your current level and your practice, your environment, and most importantly, your consistency. Right. So some people may see a big improvement in a few months. For others, it may take a longer, and that's completely normal. Because learning a language is not a race. And think about ride a bicycle. You don't watch one video and today and you become perfect tomorrow, right? You practice, you make mistakes, you try again and again, and you slowly become better. And English is also a skill. So the more you use it, the more comfortable you become, right? But here is something I really want to you remember. You don't need to study English for 5 hours every day. You don't need to memorize hundreds of words, and you don't need perfect grammar before you start speaking English. Even 30 minutes of focused practice every day can be useful, right? And you can spend 10 minutes to listening in English and 10 minutes speaking, and learn a few useful words and phrases. And write a few simple sentences. That's enough to start. For example, don't wait for complicated topic. Talk about your on life. I woke up at 7 and I make breakfast. Today I have a lot of work and I am feeling tired today. And these sentences may sound very simple, but remember, simple English is still English. Okay. And there is one more mistake that I made too. I used to think first I will learn grammar, then I will improve my vocabulary, and then I will speak English, right? But if you keep waiting until you are perfect, you may never stop speaking. You may never start speaking, right? So you have to speak while you are learning. You will make mistakes, you will forget words, and sometimes your sentences will be wrong, and that's completely okay. Your mistakes, you are making mistakes, so that doesn't mean you are bad at English. You are making mistakes, it means you are trying. And please don't compare yourself, your English journey with someone else. And you may see someone speaking English fluently and on YouTube, and you think, why I can't speak like them? But you don't know their journey. Maybe they have been learning for 5 years. Maybe they speak English every day, and maybe they understand. They started learning when they were very young. So don't compare yourself and your day 30, someone day 100. Compare yourself with yourself and ask yourself, can I understand more than before? And can I speak more than before? And am I less afraid of making mistakes? And if the answer is yes, you are improving. And this is the biggest lesson I have learned from my own journey. You don't become better at English just because you studied for a certain number of months, right? You improve because because you keep coming back to English, even on the days when you don't feel motivated, even when you feel like you are not improving, and even when you make mistakes, and you continue, because sometimes progress is happening silently. You may not notice it today, but one day you will say a sentence that you couldn't say it 6 months ago, and suddenly you will realize, wait, I can actually speak better than before. So that moment, that moment is special because you finally see your progress, and you couldn't see your every day, and you are thinking about every day, but you still haven't started. So don't wait for the perfect time, and don't wait until you have enough vocabulary, and don't wait until your grammar is perfect, and just start with one sentences, and then another, and then another. And because your English journey doesn't need to be perfect, and it just need to be begin. And if you have already started English, but sometimes you feel like you are not improving, so please don't give up, and keep learning, keep practicing, and keep speaking, and keep making mistakes, because when one day you will look back and you realize you have come much further than you thought, right? So tell me in the comments, how long have you been learning English, and what is the biggest problem you face when you try to speak English? And let's learn together. Keep learning, keep speaking, keep practicing, and see you soon in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.